how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're pumped. I know I'm pumped. If you don't have your prep list, pause here, grab your prep list. You can find one in the description for this video, so right there. Also, what are we gonna have this week? We are preparing to have lasagna. You could do it slow cooker or in the oven if you want to. Honey garlic chicken, pork mango stir fry, lemon chickpea casserole, and chicken Caesar wraps. How's it sound? It is going to be a really easy week after we throw all this prep together. This is really a love yourself later activity. I've got 3 different levels there based on your level of motivation today. So if you're feeling just like doing a little bit, just stick with level 1, ignore the rest of it, and you know what? You will be so far ahead of the game this week, you're going to be so impressed with yourself. I am going to start with something in level 3, as I tend to do. I like to have something that's going on while I'm doing the other things. That way I'm actually winning back extra time in my week. So for level 3, I'm going to be putting together the lasagna. I'm just going to start browning the beef now with onions. Cool? So got this turned on. I'm actually doubling my lasagna recipe because it's one of those things where I'm going to go to the effort to putting it together. I hope that I'm going to be able to get a lot out of it. So that, and in my family, I'm dairy free. The rest of my family is not dairy free, so I'm going to make 1 dairy free lasagna, 1 non-dairy free lasagna because they can eat mine, I can't eat theirs. So fair is fair. I am going to start by chopping up an onion to go in the lasagna. Well, I'm going to chop up 2 since I am doubling my recipe. And I encourage you to do that. If you look at the meal plan and then make it your own, if you know that you want to have something with leftovers, like I will happily freeze lasagna. Even if you know you want to make a lasagna for now, freeze one for later, cool. Double up the ingredients, plan on that with your groceries, and you will be even further ahead of the game. See the way this works? It's pretty nifty. But since I know I'm planning on having 2, I'm just doubling up right now. And then this becomes like double loving myself later, right? Love myself when supper is just ready to throw in the oven tomorrow night. Love myself, you know, later on down the line when supper is in the freezer and it's a day of, oh crap, I didn't do anything, don't have anything planned. Because I don't care who you are or how prepared you are, there's going to be those days where you are just ill-prepared for life. And when you're ill-prepared for life, that extra freezer lasagna is amazing. Okay. Man, pickiest little piece of peeling ever in the world here. I win. Took a while, but I won. Okay. Pardon me while I have the battle of the onion here. Whew. She's potent. Oh, even if you're not doing up your lasagna right now, you can still, you know, chop an onion because you'll want it for later in the week when you put together your lasagna, if you're not doing it now. Threw that piece on the floor. Don't know my own strength sometimes. tier, not all of the tiers. Okay. Just throw my onion right in there. Just a little rinse. There. Now I'm going to break this up just a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna throw my garlic in there with that too. Whew. Lasagna came at special request. It's hard to turn those down. Here we go. I will ask my kids and my husband every now and then, it's like, well, is there anything that you want to see on the meal plan? Is there anything you're craving, anything you're really wanting? And lasagna was very high on the list. So, like, well, it's like I gotta make something. And it's always worth it when I do, but especially when you have like dairy versus non-dairy and all the rest of it, it just feels like a lot of effort. But it's so worth it, so good. Okay. Oh, let me use it for a little bit. All right, next one. For level 1, as we're going through, I'm going to slice a red onion, a zucchini, and a bell pepper. So, this is going to be for the stir fry. So you can cut it in whatever shape you like for a stir fry. I like all my stuff to be like kind of the same shape when it's in a stir fry. I don't know about you. I know my husband couldn't care less. Like, you could cut his stuff into triangles if he felt like it, and he would think that was fine. And the next thing, like strips, and the next thing diced. And for me, it just looks so confusing to my brain. It just doesn't even compute. Here we go. But you cut it however it looks pretty, because I'm not going to say food looking pretty is all of it, but it's some of it. It's part of the reason why we get such joy out of going to restaurants. You know, like before we were gluten-free and food was trying to kill us. Just kidding. Not really. Whew. My goodness. These onions are fierce today. This is just such a tiny little bell pepper. I almost feel like I need another one, but if I really need to, I guess I can, you know, go back and do that. Oh, I need the bell pepper anyway. One sec. Ooh. I'm not getting it for this one, but getting it for another one. Okay. Oh, goodness. So I'm just gonna slice up this bad boy to go in the stir fry. If you wanted, where you do have a couple bell peppers that you're prepping, if you wanted to get real fancy and have half of one color in something, half of another color in something, just to like spruce it up and make it look even prettier, you definitely could. Okay, so I've got a red onion in there. I've got sliced peppers. I'm also just going to crush a couple cloves of garlic into there. Just because they're really teeny. Probably the teeniest little cloves of garlic in the whole world. There we go. So then that has me ready for vegetables for my stir fry. So when I'm doing the stir fry, I can just bust this out. I'm not chopping anything, I'm just dumping. And the feeling that you get doing that, like really like tune into that and think of it, okay? Because it's a real thing and it's really nice. Okay. Now, I'm going to dice a red onion, dice a zucchini, and dice a bell pepper. And this is going to be for the casserole dish. So you can dice the things up as small or as large as you would like them to be. Goodness. There we go. My red onion is all nice and chopped up. Now these, I am going to just see if I can fit them all into one prep container because they're all going into the same thing. I don't like the look of that part. I'm not taking that part. I am going to see if they'll fit into the same dish. I'm not sure if they will or if they won't, but no harm in trying, so I'm going for it. I can kind of chop it as big or as small as I want to if I go like chopping a whole bunch. It'll chop it up finer. I made the mistake of trying to do this once and putting all the veggies into like a food processor instead. And it was didn't taste bad. It was just, you know, kind of a little soupy. Didn't bother me much, but because, you know, they're all the same size. If they're all the same size, then apparently my taste buds are just happy with that. But it's funny, the more you get into food, the more and you compare it with other people, the more you find out your own like little food quirks. I just gotta dump this. It's like all the things that you think are kind of normal are just normal because they're normal to you. So if you ever hear me saying something and you're like, dude, that sounds weird, it probably does. It's probably weird. It's probably just, you know, my own little version of something, and then you can do your little version instead. All good. So, oh yeah, I was saying for the lasagna, if you want to, you can make your lasagna in a slow cooker. All you gotta do is do up your sauce, put a little sauce on the bottom of the pan, and put everything in it and just put it on low, and you will have yourself a lasagna made in your slow cooker. So you can prep it now and put it in the slow cooker in the morning if you want. Or you can prep it, put it into a 9x13 dish, and then it'll be ready to pop in the oven tomorrow, and you know, put it in for 40-45 minutes. See how it looks. If it needs more time, needs more time. Another full thing. They all fit in there. All depends on the size of your veggies, I guess, whether it will or whether it won't, but it all fit in there. Whew. Okay. Crumble this up a little bit. Mine might take a little while. It's got, since I do have the 3 pounds in there, it'll take a little longer, but hey, it's happening while the rest of the magic is happening over here, right? And that's totally just, for me, that I really do consider it getting time back. If that's all you had in you for gumption, congratulations, you made it through level 1. You have veggies prepared for the week. Congratulations, you're gonna feel awesome about that. If you are still raring to go, or you found your second win, let's move on to level 2. We are gonna grate cheese. Woohoo! I know. So, we're gonna grate a lot of cheese. So, gonna grate mozzarella here. So we're gonna do 2.5 cups. Actually, we're gonna do 3.5 cups because we're gonna be throwing some of it into the lemon chickpea casserole as well. I was looking this up thinking, like, why am I grating up so much cheese? Oh yeah, because it goes in things. But one thing is that it's very hard to have too much grated cheese because you can always find things to put it on. Whether it's being eaten as a kid's snack, whether it's being added on top of a dish if you're putting together grilled cheese sandwiches, I don't know. Plenty of things you can throw it on throughout the week, so if you have it prepared, it's never gonna hurt. You can save yourself time and get pre-shredded cheese if you want to. Feel free to do so. However, you will usually have more variety and less ingredients, better flavor if you are preparing it yourself. I figure it's one of those things where we're already in the zone, we're already doing the things. It's like, well, might as well just do the thing, right? You do save a little money doing the cheese yourself too. So if that's a motivator for you, motivator. But also, nothing wrong with just being economical with your time. You know how much time you got, you know how much time you can dedicate to this, and if this is a step that you can take off your list, well, do it. Okay. I'm gonna start doing a little bit of getting here. Just a brief little interlude where I've got step 3 popping on in again there. I'm going to take a cup and a half of cheese out of what I just did, and I'm gonna put it into this bowl, okay? So, putting it into this bowl. And there's my other cheese for this week, which I'm still gonna be using a little bit to put on top of the lasagna, but we'll get to that. That is very, very, very close to being done. And considering it's gonna be cooked, it's probably done enough, but I'm just gonna let it brown up there anyway. Okay, now back to step 2. Gonna grate some Parmesan cheese. Go for about a cup here. You could do more, you could do less. You know your family, you know how cheesy you are. You know how cheesy they are. Once again, you can buy this already. You can buy it already shredded if you want. So I am going to take 1/3 of a cup of my Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to put it in my lasagna cheesy mixing bowl, as it shall henceforth be known. And I'm just going to pack up the rest for later on this week, and that's going to be for the casserole as well as for the Caesar wraps. I'm going to take half of this container of ricotta, whole container here. This also might be reason enough for you to want to do a double portion. If a half portion of something, you know, bothers you, that looks like it's about half-ish. We'll go with half-ish. Okay. Yeah, if the half portion bothers you, then definitely double up your lasagna. So I'm just gonna mix these 3 cheese. Gonna mix these all together. It's like not summer right now, which immediately makes me think of Christmas. So instead of like, I'm thinking We 3 cheese instead of like We 3 Kings or something like that. I don't know. That's the way my brain works. It always goes back to some kind of a song. Perfect. Now, this is definitely looking done now. I am just going to take some of the extra grease out of it because I don't need that. So I'm just gonna mix all mine into a big bowl. You could obviously mix it in your other container, but mine's not gonna fit in there. Be right back, just getting the recipe grease out of here. There we go. I feel better. Do you feel better? I feel better. Okay. Now, you can put in a couple cans of tomato sauce, or you can put in like a giant thingy of tomato sauce instead. Clearly, I went for the giant thingies. I'm gonna put a little bit of this just sauce, just at the bottom of the container. I don't know. Nice to have a little extra liquid at the bottom. Can't say why, I just do it. Did I tell you you'd think I was a weirdo at some point? Okay. So I'm gonna throw some Italian in here. Pampered Chef Italian, by the way. Phenomenal Italian. I tried it one day and I'm like, oh, poor Clubhouse, because it's just good. All right. Anything else I need in here? Oh yeah, tomato paste. Just to like up the flavor, throw in some tomato paste too. By the way, guys, if you are looking for a dish to add some extra veggies to, because it's always nice while you're doing this meal prep to think, what do I have in my fridge that needs to be used up? How could it be incorporated into something else? You can hide a lot of things in a lasagna. You can chop up those veggies and you can just sneak them right in there. And since this is going to cook in the oven, or it's going to, you know, cook in the slow cooker, whichever one you're doing it, I'm really not too worried. These flavors are gonna sit and meld together in this dish till whenever I pop it in the oven. So I'm kind of like, me, good enough. While I reposition a few things here, I'm gonna toss a lasagna together, or two. I got a couple 9x13s here. Yeah, your standard casserole size dish. Get a scoop. So I'm gonna throw some meat sauce on the bottom of both of these. Put down some noodles. That one fit across? No. It's always kind of like a puzzle putting this together, right? Put a lasagna together. It's a little lasagna puzzle. And we're gonna snap that a little bit. There we go. Eventually it'll add up into something. Now, if you wanted to add a layer of vegetables in here, you most certainly could. If you wanted to add a layer of, say, spinach or something like that, that could be nice. For a dairy-free one, if you wanted to, you could add like a dairy-free cheese. I'm still allergic to most. Oops. I'm still allergic to most dairy-free cheese. So I have a nut cheese here that I'm using. Which the nut cheese that I'm using, it's such a terrible sounding word. I'm using, it's from Danielle Walker's cookbook, Against All Grain. And if you are new to gluten-free or have other restrictions on top of it, her book is just amazing. It made me feel like I was able to eat again. When I first found out I couldn't, you know, eat a bunch of things, it gave me faith that I would be able to eat. And that is just an amazing, amazing thing. So I'm gonna put down some of this cheese here. You know what, it's looking a little short. I'm just gonna throw it all in. It'll be fine. If you have like a taller, skinnier thing, you might be able to throw in more layers there if you want to. Honestly, this is good. Good enough is good enough for me. Is that terrible? Meh. Just gonna distribute some of my cashew nut cheese in here. Definitely not the same thing, but you know what? It fills a void. Oops, I dropped some nut cheese in there. I guess they'll have a nut cheese surprise. But hey, honestly, they don't mind eating mine either, so. There we go. Now, I'm gonna throw some more noodle action down. And you know what? Maybe you're making lasagna for you and one for a friend. That would be very nice. But it is one of those dishes that is nice to have for just in case you gotta give a meal to somebody, because I've never met anybody who doesn't like lasagna. Okay. Throw some more meat on top here. Who doesn't like a good meaty lasagna? Okay, now that it's like in front of me, I'm actually really excited for this, and this was a good idea. And I always wonder that. I'm like, why was I too lazy to make a lasagna? Like, is it really that much more work than spaghetti? But then when I see it in front of me, I'm like, that was a good life choice. You chose wisely. You did good. And man, I hope we're eating leftovers for like at least a couple days. Because this is making my heart very happy just looking at this and smelling it. I hope it's doing the same for you. Cool. So I am going to put some grated mozzarella on top of their cheesy one. Apparently I'm going to grate myself some more cheese too. I'm just going to use the rest of it on here. Oops. Should have listened to my own rules and, like, you know, made more. Always make more than what you need. If you want to put some parsley on top of all this, make it all look pretty, you can definitely do that. But I'm excited. Like, a lot of these meals you'll see with those containers are really going to be just drop and go this week. And these will be ready for the fridge, or if you put it in your slow cooker, then cool. Either way, like, we are ready to eat. And your week ahead is going to be so delicious, so easy. I'm excited to hear what you think. Let me know what you think of the recipes. Let me know how smooth your week went. I'd love to hear all of it as I coat my fingers in nut cheese and spread this around. This is my nut cheese tradition. I don't know what yours is. We could play a drinking game with this for how many times I say nut cheese. Just take a shot. Okay guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week for some more meal prep. Bye guys, thanks.